Sir Keir Starmer is reportedly preparing to make Brexit one of the main themes of the next general election campaign, as part of Labour's wider effort to present a calm, responsible, and forward-looking approach to the challenges facing the United Kingdom. According to reports from several political observers, the Prime Minister and his advisers believe that discussing Brexit in an open, balanced, and policy-focused manner can help address both the economic and social impacts of the decision while maintaining national unity. This approach, sources say, is not intended to revisit the 2016 referendum or reignite divisions about leaving the European Union, but rather to focus on how Britain can strengthen its economy, enhance its international trade relationships, and ensure long-term prosperity in a changing global environment. Labour's strategy appears to focus on practical solutions that build on the realities of post-Brexit Britain. Instead of promoting a return to the EU, the plan aims to improve trade relations with Europe while expanding opportunities with major economies such as India, the United States, and countries across Asia and Africa. Party insiders have suggested that the goal is to present a vision of economic cooperation that works for ordinary people and businesses across the UK. By acknowledging the lessons learned from the Brexit process while focusing on future growth, Labour hopes to show that progress and stability can be achieved through careful planning and constructive international engagement. In statements shared with the newspaper, a senior Labour source reportedly explained that the party's message revolves around realism and accountability. The focus is on improving productivity, investing in modern industries, and making trade smoother and more efficient without rejoining the European Union. The insider noted that Brexit came with costs, such as new trade barriers and administrative challenges, but stressed that Labour's role is to respond to these challenges with practical, evidence-based policies. The message is designed to appeal to both Leave and Remain voters by emphasising that what matters now is not rehashing old arguments, but finding ways to ensure the UK's success moving forward. This balanced approach has drawn a variety of reactions across the political spectrum. Nigel Farage, leader of Reform UK, has frequently commented on the government's handling of Brexit. In past interviews, he acknowledged that while he supports the decision to leave the EU, he feels that the economic potential of Brexit has not yet been fully realised due to what he described as poor implementation by previous governments. His position highlights the continued debate about how to make the most of the UK's independence while keeping trade competitive and maintaining good international relations. These differing perspectives show that Brexit remains an evolving topic in British politics, one that continues to influence policy discussions across all major parties. Within Labour itself, there are also a range of views on how close the UK should be to the European Union. Pro-EU members such as Stella Creasy of the Labour Movement for Europe have emphasised the need to rebuild trust and cooperation with European nations while maintaining Britain's sovereignty. She has stated that acknowledging the challenges created by Brexit is important, but the goal should always be to improve conditions for British workers and businesses. Veteran Labour figures such as Lord Kinnock and Andy Burnham have also spoken in favour of stronger collaboration with Europe in areas like research, education, and security, but they too stop short of calling for rejoining the EU. Instead, they have argued that the best path forward is through mutual respect, partnership, and economic realism. Political experts have suggested that Labour's strategy, while ambitious, is also cautious. Luke Tryl, the director of More in Common, noted that focusing on Brexit during an election could be a calculated risk. On one hand, it could strengthen Labour's appeal among voters who want to see better management of trade and economic issues. On the other, it could invite criticism from parties such as Reform UK, which may argue that Brexit's shortcomings were caused by ineffective leadership rather than the concept itself. Tryl observed that for Labour's strategy to succeed, the message must stay focused on solutions, fairness, and practical improvements for everyday people, rather than on political blame or ideology. Sir Keir Starmer began outlining his updated approach to Brexit at the 2025 Labour Party conference, where he emphasised the importance of economic stability, strong diplomacy, and fairness in policy making. During his speech, he called for unity and cooperation, saying that the next phase of Britain's journey must focus on opportunity, fairness, and responsible governance. He also discussed the need for a fair immigration system that upholds the rule of law while ensuring that the UK's borders are managed in a way that is secure, efficient, and compassionate. In later interviews, he reaffirmed that Labour's approach will continue to prioritise the interests of the British people while maintaining respect for international agreements. Economic indicators from 2025 have shown some encouraging progress for the UK. According to official data, Britain's GDP grew by 0.3% in the second quarter of 2025, slightly above the Eurozone's 0.1% growth. While modest, this difference suggests that the UK continues to adapt successfully to new trade conditions. Economists point out that the UK's diverse economy, supported by growth in sectors such as technology, green energy, and services, remains resilient despite global uncertainties. Government officials have highlighted this as a sign that the country's economic adjustments are beginning to take effect. Labour's proposed EU reset initiative is another element of its broader post-Brexit plan. The initiative seeks to build stronger cooperation with EU countries in areas such as scientific research, climate policy, and trade facilitation. Supporters view this as a practical way to maintain good relations while preserving the UK's independence and decision-making power. Critics, including some from the Conservative Party, have warned that too much regulatory alignment could restrict Britain's flexibility, but Labour insists the plan is based on mutual respect and economic benefit rather than political compromise. Former Prime Minister Boris Johnson has also expressed his view that any future deals with the EU must safeguard Britain's sovereignty, while Labour maintains that collaboration can exist alongside independence. The conversation around Brexit today is far more about management and results than about ideology. With nearly a decade having passed since the referendum, the public's focus has shifted toward practical outcomes: jobs, trade, prices, and stability. The next general election is expected to feature discussions about how to make the most of Britain's post-Brexit opportunities rather than re-litigating the decision itself. For Labour, the challenge will be balancing optimism with realism and ensuring that the government's policies are clearly explained, factually grounded, and transparent. Sir Keir Starmer's emphasis on responsibility and unity reflects his attempt to guide Britain beyond political divisions. His approach seeks to reassure voters that the government will act carefully, fairly, and in the nation's best interests. While Brexit remains a defining issue of modern British politics, it is now part of a broader discussion about how the UK can build a stable, inclusive, and prosperous future. Each major party, Labour, Reform UK, and the Conservatives, will have its own plan for achieving that, but what unites them all is a shared recognition that the future depends on clear communication, collaboration, and effective policy making. Ultimately, the discussion surrounding Brexit has evolved into one about national progress. Britain continues to adapt, grow, and redefine its place in the world. The focus moving forward is on cooperation, opportunity, and confidence, values that cut across political lines. Sir Keir Starmer's decision to place Brexit at the centre of Labour's campaign reflects an understanding that the issue still resonates deeply with the public, not as a matter of division, but as a test of leadership, problem-solving, and vision for the nation's future. And if you want more hard-hitting breakdowns like this one, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next update.